Hello, Yankee fans. How are you? I hope all is well. Thank you for clicking on this NYY Opinions podcast, and thank you for clicking on this video. There's a lot to talk about today. The Yankees only took one game out of this series with the Brewers. Um, I did want to talk about a couple of things. Obviously, we're gonna get to the Jasson Dominguez news later. But for right now, I really want to talk about stuff that happened in this third game, and I'll try to sprinkle in some stuff from the first two games. But I really wanted to um, just touch on a couple of things from this third game today. So the first thing I wanted to discuss was Michael Kay said something on this on the broadcast that I thought was very interesting. He said that IKF is mentoring the kids. Everson Pereira, Oswald Peraza, Jasson Dominguez, Anthony Volpe. All the young guys. And I thought that was pretty cool because I just remember last year, me included, I was all against IKF. He was a third baseman. As always, the Yankees decide that they're smarter than everybody else, and they moved him out of position. They moved him to shortstop, and the Yankees benched him during the playoffs, and I was like, yay, they benched him finally. The Yankees are coming to their senses. But something, he's really on a serious note has won back my heart. And to be honest, I just think that he may be a good fit for the Yankees to sign and have back for next season. I think he's a free agent at the end of the year. He plays an amazing third base. We know he can play shortstop, although it's not the ideal position to put him in. He could play catcher. He could pitch. We've seen that many times that the Yankees have put him to pitch. So yeah, with IKF, I think it's pretty amazing that first of all he cherishes to be a Yankee. He's said on multiple occasions that he doesn't care what role he's in. He just wants to be part of this team, and I just love the humbleness that he's bringing to the table. I think it's just a breath of fresh air. How many people like Josh Donaldson? I felt like, felt a certain it's owed to me, but for IKF, it really feels like he is a humble person, and he's willing to do anything to get on the field. And you know what? He plays a couple positions. He could be a super utility guy. I personally think that he's better than Cabrera. So Oswaldo Cabrera. So I believe that the Yankees should bring him back if they can. Obviously, for a reasonable price. You can't overpay for somebody like IKF because trust me, the Yankees are going to need a lot more positions to fill up. Okay, so yeah, that's topic number one. The next topic I wanted to discuss from today's game was Garrett Cole. Actually, Garrett Cole got his 200th strikeout, and I think Michael Kay said this was his sixth time in his career that he got 200 strikeouts. And obviously, every Yankee fan is dialed into this AL Cy Young Award, and obviously are hoping to win it. And the truth is, I really wanted to talk about this. I have an opinion, and I don't know how much people will agree. Obviously, you can comment down below of what you believe should happen. But my opinion is, as always, I believe awards should go to teams that are players that are on teams that are in the playoffs. And unfortunately, the Yankees, I don't know. I just don't think it's in the cards this year that they're going to make the playoffs. Like Garrett Cole, I mean, they're in what is it, ninth place, or they're in ninth place in the AL as I'm making this video, and I just don't believe that as much as he does deserve it, he has the lowest ERA out of all the Cy Young Award candidates. He has the lowest ERA, so it could be that they're going to give it to him just based off the ERA. But like you have Sonny Gray, who has the 298, is not that far off from Garrett Cole, and his team is in third place in the AL as this video is being made. So, in my opinion, like it's kind of cheap. It's like when like Russell Westbrook got like his MVP or whatever it was, and because of his all the triple doubles he made, and he like I don't know didn't make the playoffs some years, and I think he got bounced out of the first round another year. To me, it's just it's really not like something that obviously he deserves it, but I don't know. I just always had something against like you're not in the playoffs and you're just like I don't know if it's called stat building because the Yankees need every win if they really want to make a playoff push. But the Yankees don't make the playoffs, like does he really like did he really make that much of a difference? But again, this is not an MVP, so if it's not an MVP, maybe he should just get the Cy Young just based off stats, based off impact, based off that you know he is the Yankees stopper. The Yankees were bleeding. They lost 2 games in a row. The Yankees need a stop. They need to put the stop to the bleeding, and they throw out their ace, and he shuts it down. And he shoves. Honestly, he shoves. So, in my opinion, it could be because of that. The Yankees. I mean, he should get the Cy Young award. I mean, Sonny Gray, he's in third place. So obviously, he probably doesn't have as much pressure as Garrett Cole. So yeah. Anyways, those are the two sides to it. I just believe sometimes that it's like it means more if your team is in the playoffs. I don't want like Garrett Cole to be thought of like a person who stat builds and builds off just for stats. I mean, obviously he's not the type of player. I mean, he's trying to teach, I think, Michael King, like, hey, listen, sometimes you don't always have to go for the strikeout. Sometimes you got to let your defense take care of you. So I don't believe he's all for stats. I think he's prone to shove. And you know what? Thank God he's on the Yankees, and he's shoving and he stopped the bleeding for one day. Yeah, so that's my opinion with that. The next thing I really wanted to talk about was, again, Stanton. And I think Stanton was like 0 for 12 since he hit his 400th home run. And he was hitting like a buck 98. And then he finally hit that 2-run homer at the end of this game to tie it up. So, in my opinion, like, again, I spoke about this in my last podcast, my last video, that, listen, the Yankees have to do something. They have to maybe change his batting stance. Maybe it's just the off year for him. I'm not really sure. I do know he cannot play right field. I don't know what his deal is. I think that maybe the Yankees have to get somebody to really deal with the soft tissue. I don't know. Maybe you go to like Tom Brady's trainer, like Alex Guerrero, to go take care of his muscles, because like there was I think it was on Saturday where somebody hit the ball to the wall, and like honestly, like any other athletic or just decently athletic player would have just easily caught that in stride and ended the inning. But it turned to go over his head, and at the end of the day, like 2 runners scored, and on top of that, he threw a bad throw to home plate. Like, I don't know, he can't play in the field, and obviously that limits the Yankees and what they want to do in the future. Obviously, that's also talk about with Dominguez, because maybe they could play him at DH, but with Stanton clogging up the lane, they probably can't play him at DH over there. So, yeah, the Yankees have to do something. The Yankees either have to change his swing. The Yankees have to get him some sports psychologist. The Yankees have to check his eyes. The Yankees have to do a lot for this guy, because we have him for like another 4 or 5 years, and it's just not looking good from where I'm sitting. And the Yankees really, when he's hitting, he could carry a team for like a week or two. But if he is on the decline, the Yankees have to kind of slow that progression and have to build him up because this is kind of pathetic. I don't know if they have to change out his workout regimen. I don't know if he's just too bulk. Like maybe loosen up. Maybe start doing some instead of weight training and being this fit guy. Maybe he just needs to be a player who works on flexibility, who works on um, uh, elasticity of his muscles. The Yankees have to do something because this is not going to work out good. And as you see, the teams that are in the playoffs don't have holes in their lineup. They don't have an automatic out 0 for 12, you know, in their lineup. But again, the Yankees think they're smarter than everybody else, and they believe that they know what they're doing. So I'm not running the team, so I can't change any of that. But hopefully, the Yankees learn from their mistakes because at this point, it's not looking good, and we really need him to step up because if not, it's going to be a long couple of years with him. And let me tell you something: the Yankee fans, we don't have patience. We don't have patience for garbage. I don't know who's listening to this, but we have absolutely no patience for garbage. And the more the garbage stays around, the more angrier we get. So if he can't do anything, either get him off the team or fix him because nobody wants to deal with this anymore. There's another thing I really wanted to talk about in this game, and this happened in the bottom of the fifth. I don't know who was up, but it Corbin Burns, I think, threw three straight balls. And, at this point, the Yankees are getting no hit, obviously. I mean, because the Yankees, you know, love to do that and make Yankee fans grow white hair and lose their hair at the same time. But, like, with all due respect, like, I was sitting behind the screen, and I was like, okay, this is a pitch right down the middle. Okay, get a good swing on it, and it's a two-run homer, and the Yankees would have had the lead. But instead, they say no. That I don't know who gave the sign to just take the pitch, but like, he's throwing it down the middle. He doesn't want to have first and second. So at the end of the day, I don't know who's giving these signs, but even me, I was like, okay, it's gonna go down the middle, and sure enough, it went down the middle. I was like, oh, he didn't hit it. All he had to do was put a good swing on it, base hit, scores a run. We would have been up 1-0. But like a lot of times when it's down the middle, as you know, it goes out of the park, and the Yankees should have been up 2-0. Thank God they won, because if not, I would have been talking about this a lot more. But yeah, these are the things that I really wanted to talk about within this game. On the agenda, I really wanted to speak about how people saw Cashman and Omer Minaya checking out Yamamoto. And let me tell you something. Yamamoto really, really, really shoved. He threw a no-hitter. And I don't know. I think the Yankees. I think they're going to be forced to either sign him. They're going to be forced to do something because the Yankees are really, really, really short. They only have like Garrett Cole. They have Nestor Cortez is out for the 2023 season probably. They don't have that many pitchers, that are coming up. They may have Michael King, so that's two. They have I forgot who else. They have another pitcher who has pitched very well throughout the season. I forgot his name. It's slipping my mind. And that's pretty much it. I mean, they're not. I don't think they're bringing back Luis Severino. I don't think Frankie Montas is going to come back. So the Yankees are going to need, and I'm with all due respect, Nestor Cortez is a question mark. So if he's a question mark, how can you bring him back and not have you already have question marks in your lineup. You're gonna have question marks in your rotation as well. So to me, I think the Yankees are going to either sign him because I don't know how you want to bring up like two rookies from to fill out your lineup because I only counted three players that are like locks to be in the starting rotation next year. But anyways, the Yankee. It's always good to go. The more, the merrier, because I think they say that you really want to have at least 6 to 7 starters in your rotation because injuries happen over 365 over a season. So yeah, I believe that the Yankees are probably going to sign him, and hopefully it turns out to be maybe Tanaka or someone like that because the Yankees really need starting pitching for whatever it's worth. I do think that I don't know how if the Yankees are going to learn from their ways not to sign people with question marks. Like Luis Severino is a question mark at this point. No, um, so yeah, I just think that the Yankees are going to sign him and Frankie Monta. And yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Um, that also brings me to the next topic with Jasson Dominguez. Now, as we all know, we probably heard by now that Jasson Dominguez has a torn UCL, and I think Aaron Boone said he's going to be out for 9 to 10 months. And let me tell you something. When the Yankees announced this, and Aaron Boone was talking about this, I was like, damn. Like, what is going on with the Yankees? The Yankees need to bring some exorcist to just get rid of whatever curse is in the Yankees locker room. I was like, my head went to how like Stephen A. Smith says there's like a black cat running around the Cowboys. I just believe that it's running around the Yankees as well. It's just injury after injury after injury, and Nestor Cortez, Frankie Montas, back in the day, Aaron Hicks, and by the way, like I'm about to get to him in a minute. You know, at this point, the Yankees need to do something again for that. I don't know what you can do. Obviously, I don't know how real Black Cats and Black Magic are, but the Yankees need to take care of, and you know, what's even crazier is that the Yankees, I feel, are so conservative. They're so conservative, and even with their conservativeness, they still get injuries. You know, it's just ridiculous of how many injuries they have. Um, and this takes me to like I think the Yankees are going to sign the dude from the Cubs. Again, his name is slipping my head too, but yeah, and I don't know what the Yankees are going to do because also you're going to have there's rumors that Hal Steinbrenner is going to bring a outside source to go check out the Yankees analytics teams. Do you think is it going to really change? Will the Yankees really change? I don't know. Is it just for show? Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do change because some of the analytics really need to change for sure. One of the analytics that for sure have to change off the bat is signing people with question marks. Carlos Rodon, question mark. How are you going to deal with question marks? And I think that's one of the analytic things that the Yankees are going to have to look into, and hopefully they get better next season. I don't know how the Yankees are going to make the playoffs, but I want to just say I do give the Yankees credit for today's win. The Yankees fought back. Garrett Cole shoved. He when a team gets an injury, right? When a team gets an injury, it really changes the psyche for a certain amount of time. I'm sure the Yankees knew that he had a problem with his UCL, but the Yankees did not go away. They came out and they said we're going to fight for everything. We're going to scrap. The young guys are struggling as I predicted they would because they're young and it just comes with the territory. And at this point, like you could have, if the Yankees would have folded, I wouldn't have been surprised. Like your teammate who was literally, in my opinion, was carrying you. Forget about Aaron Judge. He was carrying the Yankees for this past week. Okay? And now you hear he's going to be out for 9 to 10 months. How, like, how are you going to, in your head, if your teammate goes down and the guy who was carrying you goes down, that could really be a bad, it could really, really, really mess with your psyche, can put a team down and make the team sluggish and not want to play. I do hope that that Jasson Dominguez, speaking of him again, does not turn into Aaron Hicks, because as you remember, pre the UCL injury that Aaron Hicks got, he was pretty good. He was throwing runners out from left field, you know, from Death Valley, which we called Yankees left field, you know. And when he came back, he just was never the same player. Obviously, Aaron Hicks was much, much older. Jasson Dominguez is much younger, so hopefully it doesn't affect him that much. But it does stunt his development growth. He's probably going to be out till for the next. He's probably going to be out the whole next year, you know, because the Yankees are conservative with their team, and I just hope that he comes back maybe for the 2025 season and shoves. But I just hope he doesn't turn into another Aaron Hicks, because that would really, really suck for the Yankees. And with that being said, I want to say thank you for clicking on this video. Please subscribe, leave a comment, like, press the bell, leave a comment of what you think. Please tell me any other topics that you think I should go over. I would love to hear from you guys. And with that being said, have a great day and hope to see you on the next episode.